I must get myself a tattoo.
Of what?
Well,
A TARDIS.
well, actually, that wouldn't be a bad tattoo, would it?
Whereabouts then?
I think on my chest.
So, Tom, we have some questions here, some from Big Finish, some from Doctor Who fans.
I'm really looking forward to them, yeah.
Right.
You might like the answers, too.
Well, I'm hoping that everyone will enjoy the answers.
Go ahead.
Okay, the first one is from @apurpleradio. It says, do you have any regrets over Doctor Who, such as not wishing to return for the 20th anniversary?
No, I have no regrets. Doctor Who is the best thing that ever happened to me. And it keeps on happening to me. That's why we're doing this little interview now. No, it was a wonderful, wonderful event in my life. Because, I used to be Tom Baker. I won't go through all the anxieties and limitations of being Tom Baker. And then I became a Doctor Who. And then I was fulfilled, and then I was happy and socially more successful, and people were pleased to see me. When I was just Tom Baker, people would shrug, or even not notice. So it is a wonderful thing to have been Doctor Who. And presumably it never fades, does it?
No.
The fans don't get tired.
The business about the 20th anniversary is also what they're asking about when they did the 5 Doctors and you didn't come back for that and they used some old footage of you. Do you regret not going back?
Well, I think I regret not coming back because I don't exactly know why, but I regret disappointing people. I was forgotten about that. Probably I was being a bit shirty about the other 4, or maybe I'd cracked a joke like saying, other Doctor Who's, or something crass like that. It is true now, if I saw another Doctor Who across the road, I'd better stop there, actually, hadn't I? Well, I would wave. Look, I'd do that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, they'd appreciate that, I think. @apurpleradio says, if Tom does see this, tell him that he means the world to me. He is Doctor Who.
Oh.
There you go.
Well, yes, I think he's right. I am Doctor Who, yes. That was the other success, of course, was, not having to do a performance, not really even, well, I did learn the lines, but everything about Doctor Who appealed to me. The Doctor Who is the great escaper, isn't he? As much as Superman, maybe more than Superman. Oh, more than Superman, yes. So happy. I was delighted.
@dchilv, it's an interesting name, isn't it? Says, does he have any fond memories to share about the Seeds of Doom, the crinoid monster? Do you remember that?
I won, didn't I? Yes, I know. I triumphed
think
again. No. I mean, at the time, I was pretending I was impressed by them. But it didn't take long for me to recover. So I have no memories except that I defeated them. That was it, wasn't it? I don't know.
That's the main thing.
That's it, and bring on the next lot.
And talking of monsters you defeated, and this is a question close to my heart, do you think the Daleks are just misunderstood?
Yes, they are misunderstood, because the thing is they're pitiful creatures, really. And all that shouting and storming about, is just a cry for help, I suppose. And the difficulty of a good-hearted old man like me is that what can I do about it? Nothing. I mean, what can one possibly do to please a Dalek? They're trivial. Oh, I'm so sorry for them, yes. Do they still crop up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Not for me, they don't.
@Adam Lance Garcia says, what does he hope his legacy as the Doctor is?
Oh, come on. Do you mean, what does he... I mean, legacy just after people die, isn't it? Is he out of his mind? No, I have no intention of dying. None at all. God, it was such an effort to come into this world. But that's another story. No legacy.
For many people, you're their hero. Have you met any of your heroes?
No, I have to admit, and it's not easy for me to say this, but my heroes have avoided me like the plague. I've never met any of them, really. Not even great footballers or... Well, I remember meeting Jeremy Brett, yes, and him being very nice to me. I greatly admired him because he and I had played Sherlock Holmes. I only played him. Jeremy, of course, was an amazing creature. He turned into Sherlock Holmes. Oh, yes, he was wonderful.
Who are your heroes that you haven't met, then?
I don't know you well enough to admit that. No. If something occurs to me, I might suddenly shout it out, but that would be very revealing. You might be shocked.
At Natalie Robin 812 says, what's his favourite outfit that he wore in the show?
Well, I quite liked the outfit, which was a long overcoat and a long scarf and a very expensive hat. And knowing perfectly well that June Hudson had something to do with it. Yeah, I loved my costume, yes. Well, I mean, I quite often put it on, at night when I'm alone, yes. But sometimes I come down to dinner with my costume on. And my wife, who's very kind, rolls her eyes and looks out of the window, And I sometimes wonder what she's thinking. If anyone can guess what she's thinking, they can put it on a postcard and send it to Big Finish.
At Whoviana says, how does it compare working for Big Finish on Doctor Who in comparison to when you were doing it on the TV?
Well, it's a different medium, isn't it? But I mean, it's just as enjoyable for me. Just as enjoyable. So it should be. I've done have I done 100 maybe? I don't know.
Do you know, I have never counted.
Well, I
lots.
think I nodded to David, our dear producer. I think he intimated I may have done 100. It's been wonderful, actually. It's not over yet, is it?
No.
We've got one to do later.
Yeah. But it's, the whole, I think what they're getting at is the sort of the difference between it being visual and then just in sound. I mean, how does that?
Absolutely no difference at all, except, of course, I wouldn't put my costume on here because the other actors would be embarrassed. But I'd be willing to put them on if they like that idea. But no, I always think myself, I'm in the TARDIS, and it's terrific fun to do, yes. No difference at all. I mean, I only had one performance. The Doctor became defined when he was happy or the producer was happy. And that rolled on, I think, with all of them, I suppose. And that's the way it was with me. When it clicked that that's what people liked, I wanted to go on pleasing them, That's what actors do, isn't it? I wanted to go on pleasing them. And 40 years later, they're still giggling at my silliness and my mock heroism, and that pleases me a lot.
One of the differences, I suppose, is that on the TV, you had lots of different production teams you worked with. They changed, you stayed the same. Whereas here, it's been us all the way through the last 7 or so years.
Yeah, well, that's right. So that's right. And sometimes you anticipate my suggestions. That's quite right, too. But yes, it is. It's a beloved family. And meeting lovely people, every few weeks, new casts, all of whom are terribly happy to be a Big Finish. Big Finish is big deal for me because it makes me happy.
Well, you make us happy. Finally, Homo sapiens indomitable was the beginning of a speech you did in Doctor Who in the Ark in Space. Are you optimistic about the future of humanity?
Let's say I'm optimistic about my future, but I can't commit myself for humanity, because sometimes they can be very, very ungrateful. No, I'm full of hope for me, and for you, of course, the fans. Oh, boy. Yeah, I hope you survive.
Well, thanks, Tom. Let's get back to the TARDIS, shall we?
Oh, yes. Yeah, let's do that. Goodbye.